Welcome to Voyagers of Nera, a beautiful ocean survival crafting game where you'll sail across magical seas, build your own island base, rescue lost spirits, and battle monsters from the deep. Join me as I explore the world, craft powerful gear, rescue island spirits, and work to restore the balance of the world of Nera. So without further ado, let's begin. We have spawned in the world, and immediately I looked around my surroundings. Afterwards, I found a door which may lead to the exit of this place. Okay, let's sprint and jump! Wow. And then grab a couple of snacks under the water. We'll probably need this later on to feast on. I got some luma fruits and some seaweeds under here. When I was done, I was looking for a way out now, and eventually I stumbled upon this place right here. And I took a bite on the food that I recently got before continuing this adventure. And what I found was, there was this spirit that were surrounded by light, which then summoned rock golems. So I had to beat them up and save the spirit. But I don't really have any tool right now, and my fist doesn't deal that much damage. So I have to do my best to avoid their attacks and defeat them. Ooga booga punch. Afterwards, I saved the little guy that were surrounded by the 3 bullies. So this thing is called a guide spirit, and rescuing one unlocks either a recipe for our knowledge tree or the crafting table, or they may sometimes give skills. So for this one, we got a recipe for a spirit anchor. I then continued looking for the exit of this place and grab all the rocks that I could find. It will be useful later on. I also found some mushrooms that we can cook, as well as an ancient fragment. I have no idea what's the use of this yet, but we will make use of it. And after a bit, we have finally reached the outside, and this place is called the Embrace. I immediately scavenged the surrounding for random materials, food, plants, whatever I could find. I was looking for a good spot to place our operations or our base. Also, I had a quest to gather some wood and stone, so yeah, that's one of our main priorities as well. I also interacted with a totem, and it gave me a knowledge point. Anyways, I continued gathering stones to finish up my quest. Grab. That. Food. Punch. Oh, ooga booga. Can't punch in water. And once I was done gathering, it's now time to place down all the necessary stations that we have unlocked so far. So this is the spirit anchor we have unlocked upon saving the spirit. And upon interacting with it, it seems I already have the materials needed in order to awaken it. So we now have a sanctuary power of level 1. Giving us a buff called Spirit Sanctuary and a cleansing aura. I could also select a companion to follow me around. They don't really do anything at this moment since I haven't unlocked any minor or major ability, but it's nice to have. Also, the statue has the ability to locate where the spirits are. So as you see in the map, it's a big question mark. We can go there and save a stranded spirit that needs help. Anyways, I built myself a workbench and crafted myself an axe. I should have made a pickaxe first because I need a couple of stones to make the pickaxe. But it wasn't a problem since there were a couple of loose stones nearby, and now I had enough to make myself the pickaxe. Now that we have some tools, it's finally time to make ourselves a cozy home. I like the building system in this game. You just lay down the foundation and then just grab the materials, and you can just start inserting the materials inside, and it will build itself. It's now time to get chopping some wood so we can make our house. Nice, we have our frame. Now, floor. So easy to build in this game. Okay, let's finish this up. Okay, cool. Now a roof. I need a rope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, let's remove this and put it inside. Okay, we now have a roof. Afterwards, I built some storages inside. It's pretty easy to make. Just a couple of rope, which I have easy access to. I also crafted myself a campfire outside for cooking. Food in this game is pretty good. It gives you a lot of buffs like increased health, stamina, and oxygen. After unlocking a couple of new knowledge, I crafted myself a stone spear, a club, and an armor set. Now we're not naked. Also some bandages for healing. Lastly, I made a bed so we can skip the night by sleeping. Oh my god, the bow and arrow is great. Look how easy I kill the crabs. I then started crafting a boat. It's called a cargo skiff. It'll be very useful later on once we need to explore the seas and go to other islands. Here's how the fight goes if I use a melee weapon instead of the bow and arrow. The bow and arrow shoots really fast compared to the melee, and I don't need to stand close to the enemies, so I prefer going on a range fight if the enemies are hard. Bow is so good. Rapid fire. And critical headshot, I think. Let's try melee. How's the shield? Oh, it doesn't block all the attacks, but it does block an attack. Oh, I can parry! What the hell? That's cool. Let's time it again. Wait. Parry, parry, parry. Yeah! So cool! Okay. Parrying is a thing. You rescued the little guy. Hello, buddy. Guide Spirit rescued. Ability Guide Spirit. We got a lightning shot for saving this guy. And so, upon returning home, I interacted with a statue and equipped the new skill I have learned. Lightning shot. Lightning bolt! I can one-shot them. There's a range type of these golems. There are also sometimes vases that are scattered across the land that you can loot inside of. They usually contain random materials and sometimes accessories that can be very useful. Lightning bolt! I'm currently at a place called the Time-Worn Sanctuary. I'm a journey to save another one of those spirits in hopes to get a new type of ability. First enemy to pop out, lightning bolt! You're already dead. Next. You're already dead as well. Another one. Upon saving this spirit, I got a minor ability called Rain Stance. It is a passive skill that enables me to constantly heal HP as I use my attacks. Also, before I left this place, I decided to dive under to see if there are any treasure. And sure enough, I found something glowing under the tower. I found and looted an item called a water strand. Nice. Also, I fought up a fish monster down here. This was honestly a pretty dangerous situation as I was running out of oxygen. The blue bar that you see is my oxygen depleting very fast and I really need to move away. But the fish kept getting on my way. But now I just have to rush up or else I'll die. Oh, air. Ouch. Youch. Youch. Faster. Faster. Oh, I'm alive. What the hell? Almost died. After recovering my health, I then dove again because there were still some items I haven't looted yet. There was another water strand here and a couple of ancient fragments just lying around. I then crafted myself something called a mana forge, but sadly I don't have a construct's gift to complete this, so I can't really make use of this yet. I do, however, had enough material to upgrade my spirit anchor to level 2. Now we have a healing aura. So whenever we're near our spirit anchor, it will constantly help us regenerate some health, and that is very useful. Since our next destination to save another spirit is on another island, it's finally time to try out the boat. So this thing, I feel like, should be handled by 2-person. Someone who will control the sails and someone who will control the direction of where you're going. But solo is fine. It's just, I think it would be more convenient if you had a friend. But where's our friend? There are dangers in the sea, and these fishes will try their best to destroy your ship. So it's always better to have something to repair your ship with, but I don't have one at the moment. I'm just like praying that they don't destroy my ship. Anyways, we have arrived at our location. All we need to do is just deal with the monsters that are being summoned before we can save the spirit. Upon rescuing the little guy, I got another minor ability called the Ocean's Favor. It increases the swim speed and reduces the swim sprint stamina cost. So this will be really useful if we plan to explore under the water. My main quest then led me to this place called the Sunken Ruins. Ruins are usually lurking with enemies, but we can easily take care of them with our bow. There are also mine-looking enemies that explodes on contact, but I could also just shoot it with my bow and arrows. They drop a thing called a volatile gland, and these can be used to make explosive arrows. Anyways, once I was inside the ruins, I can now do this thing called the trial, where we fight this golem. Let's go. Immune. What? Oh, nice. Lightning bolt! Easy fight. I just have to dodge. Keep hitting the arrow on his weak point. Make sure I have enough stamina to dodge. We're fine. I can't see. What is it now? Oh, arrow of arrows? What do you mean? I have so many stone arrows. Oh, it's homing! Oh, whoa! Whoa! Lightning bolt! Rapid fire. If I know the timing for release and shoot, it's so fast. And the trial is complete. Look, we have a chest here. Nice. The construct's gift. Now retrieve what? The glyph? Elder Spirit Shard. Nice. Upon returning home, I then crafted a bunch of spirit beds. I wanted to increase my affinity with the spirits so I can gain the benefit of the increased level I have on my sanctuary. Also, I have unlocked a new armor set called the Fiber Weave Armor Set. I crafted all of them, and this is what we look right now. We look like a steel-hardened warrior now. There was also a new spear available, but I had no sharpstone on hand, so I couldn't really craft it. Another thing, because of the construct gift we got earlier, I have now made the mana forge, and there is a new item called the skimmer that I can craft. And this is what a skimmer does. Instead of me just swimming in the ocean, I can now ride a surfboard. This saves me time from traveling from another island to another island because we don't need to bring our boat all the time. We can just use our skimmer. And it's very fast. In one of the islands, I found a guide spirit that was just hiding behind a tree, and I have rescued it. Then unlock a knowledge called the Looking Pool, and what it does is it can change your appearance anytime you want as long as you have it. Upon returning home, I had recently unlocked a knowledge called the Large Storage Basket. This thing has so much space inside, and I'm very happy to have learned this because I swear, the small one only takes about 8 items, but the large one is twice of that. And so I upgraded all my basket in the base, and I am now more organized in regards to my items. For my next destination, I went to this island that was full of those spirit-like golems. I can no longer one-shot them with my lightning bolt as they were level 5 now. Honestly, these guys are very strong here. I really need an upgrade to my tools and also accessories that might increase my spells. I did not really struggle since I had my bow and arrow. I have a lot of arrows to use. They're not really hard to make since it only requires stone and wood, hence the little amounts of damage that I can do. Also, in this island that I have landed, I saw another spirit that was being bullied by the rock golems, so it's time to save the day again. As for the ability that I got, it's something called an Earthen Ward, which increases my defense and my party's defense, if I had a party, in a small area. Also, the place where I saved the spirit has a lot of sharp stone rocks here, which means I can start grinding these things. The problem with these sharp stones are they are very heavy, and I can only carry about 14 at a time. Thankfully though, we had our boat and I can store all the sharp stone in its storage area. So I plan to park the boat near the place where there are a lot of sharpstone and continued grinding these sharpstone until I have like 4 to 5 stacks. Afterwards, I made my way home, praying no fish will bite my boat because I feel like it's gonna break soon. I see a lot of cracks in it. And with a sharp stone that I farmed, I upgraded my pickaxe, my axe, my one-handed weapon, and also my spear to sharpstone. I also crafted this accessory called the Sharpstone Spirit Focus, and this will increase my spirit ability potency by 15. I then went out to the field and tested my weapons. My damage has, I believe, increased by twice the amount compared to before. Also, I noticed a glowing light under the water, so I dove down, and it seems I have discovered where I can farm glowstone crystals. I don't have a need of them right now, so I just left. I can always farm them again just by looking under the water if ever I need to look for some. Also, because of the new accessory I crafted, the damage of my lightning bolt increased by a lot. I deal like 375 damage now compared to before, which only dealt about 150. I can now one-shot the level 5 monsters. The current goal I have right now is to save all the guide spirits in the Embrace. Also conquered all the 3 ruins before moving on to the next area. And as I went further and further out, I saw that there was this area that is full of like toxic colored air. I had no idea what would happen if I entered, but since there was a ruin I need to go to, I entered anyways. And it seems this place is corrupted because I'm getting corruption as I enter the place. I was pretty scared of what would happen if I continued entering the corrupted area, so I just left for now. I had a quest to craft something that would give me some corruption resistance, so maybe I can enter the area safely. Anyways, I saved yet another guide spirit, and I earned a new ability called Spirit Fire. Another gave me a minor ability called Healing Tide that makes me regenerate HP as I swim in the ocean. And another one that gave me the ability called Guiding Spirit, which made my companions glow at night, giving us light in the dark. And on my exploration, I happened to stumble upon a place called the Ancient's Rest. Inside was a glyph. I thought I could loot this, but as I tried, there was no interaction button, so it was only for display. There was also a pool of water in the center, but I could not really interact with it, so I'm assuming I shouldn't be here yet. Anyways, the next place I stumbled on is called the Shattered Ruins. It's finally time to target those ruins and retrieve all the Elder Glyph that I need. For this ruin, it seems I don't need to fight the Guardian. I can just retrieve the glyph straight away. There were a couple of monsters though, but they were no threat. There was still a chest though containing a construct gift, and I need it, so I'm very happy that I got one. And upon returning home, I then finished up making something called the Imbuing Bench, but I can't really use it yet because my Sanctuary power is level 2 and it required me to have level 3. And so the next day, I just resumed my work of saving the guide spirits. For this one, it had the ability called Wind Surge, which occasionally gives me stamina as I continue doing my normal attacks. And this is what the Spirit Fire looks like. It's a flame aura that I have that constantly damages the enemies around me. Very good for killing a group of enemies while I just hold my shield down to reduce the incoming damage that they do. Also, I found another guide spirit on top of a mountain, and it gave me a recipe for an item. It is called the Glyph of Breath, which increases my oxygen by 20%. It will be useful later on once we start farming in the water. I tried using the Spirit Fire in water, and it actually works. It does like really good damage, and I can just like surf around fishes and they will die from the burn. It's a very useful skill in catching fishes. I then saw an area where our nearby spirit needed rescue, but it was inside the corruption area, so I had to fight carefully here. I'm still scared of the corruption as I don't know what kind of effects it had on me, so I just stayed away, tried to have the least amount of corruption I have on my character just to feel safe. Afterwards, I saved the little guy and got a new ability called Wellspring, which summons a ring of healing water. It's a pretty good skill to have an emergency button so we don't die. And because I have already explored the surrounding area, I felt brave enough that I want to venture towards the source of the corruption. So this thing is called an Abyssal Spire, and I'm on my way there right now. The place is filled with these landmine monsters, so if we hit it, I believe it will take like half of my HP. Also, it's protected with a lot of corrupted fishes that would eat me alive if ever I tried diving down. So I'm not really sure if I should continue with this or just run away for now. But hell, I decided to just go under and like start hitting the green ball thingies from the Abyssal Spire. This is how I can damage this thing, and I believe I need to destroy all of them in order to destroy the Abyssal Spire. My problem here though is that oxygen and my swimming speed is very slow, so this will take a while before I can actually defeat it. But after destroying all the green bulbs on the giant stem, I was kinda dumbfounded that there was no more, and I thought it would be like deeper underground. So I just gave up for now as I was running out of oxygen and I was in pretty deep and it was hard for me to surface. And there were still a lot of fishes around me that were trying to kill me. So I gave up for now and just went away. And while I was running away towards safety, I got a prompt that I have entered an area called the Forgotten Ruins. And because I was pretty near, I just decided to raid it. I wasn't really scared anymore of the corruption as I had already made a potion that gave me resistance to corruption by +1. So it it takes a while for me to be fully corrupted, and if ever I was close to being corrupted, I just need to step out of the circle where there are corruption and I'll be fine. Oh. I can't see. Lightning bolt! And you're dead. Nice. Treasure! Another construct. With this, we have all the shards of the Elder Spirit. Upon returning to base, I was chilling for a bit and collected some clams in the surrounding as I was running low on my food stock. I needed something that would increase my health and stamina by a lot, and shellfish barbecue does that, so I'm here collecting a lot of clams. Also, I had a new main quest after collecting all the Elder Shards. It led me back to the place called the Ancient's Rest, where there was nothing that happened when I was here. Upon arriving, there were 3 glyphs floating on some altars now, and for the pool of water, I can finally interact with something. It was a dormant Elder Spirit that will now give us a trial before it can interact with us. So the trial is pretty simple. I just need to beat up a couple of monsters that it summons. You're dead. Oh, there's more. Haha, lightning bolt! And it's over. Nice. Connect with the Elder Spirit. How? I go to the water. Oi! I hold to bond with the Elder Spirit. Nice. Build the ocean shrine for the Elder Spirit. After that bond with the ocean spirit, I can now use something called ocean form. Wow, oh my god, so cool. So the ocean form increases my skimming speed as well as my swimming speed and lessens the amount of oxygen and stamina I use up when I'm swimming under the water. So this form is very useful against the Spire. Arriving at home, I can now empower my sanctuary to level 3 because now we had the Elder Shard. I also placed down an ocean shrine in the base just so that we can see the Elder Spirit anytime we want. Also, we can change skills here as well once we unlock the other forms. And now that we're level 3 in our sanctuary power, I can now imbue more power on my weapons. It doesn't work on tools, but it works on most of the weapons like the bow, spear, and the blade. And so I imbued my spear to level 2 as well as my one-handed blade, increasing their damage by 40% each. I also made an item called the Patching Kit where I can use it to repair my boat. It's a hammer that I strike my boat with and it will heal it up. Or you say patch it up. So each time I strike my hammer, it will repair the boat. And once I was ready, it was now time to challenge the Abyssal Spire again. This time I brought my boat so that I could climb back on top if something goes wrong. So aside from the green bulbs on the main stem, there were actually a couple of, I guess, roots where there's also green bulbs in them that I had to strike down in order to officially or kill the Abyssal Spire. I was kind of conservative of my ocean form until its final moments, and now that it was less than 50% HP, I used my final form. There were still a couple of fishes defending this thing, so it wasn't good of me to like save it on its very last breath or health. And after destroying the final 2 green bulbs, it has been defeated and the ocean is now cleansed. And with this, you could say I'm done with the embrace. I have got all the Elder Relic Shard. I have saved all the 13 spirits here. There was nothing else for me to do here. So it's time to move on to the next area. For the next area I need to go to, it is called the Reef. And it was pretty far. So bringing my boat along, it's time to head over there. We're going on an adventure. Before we can get to the Reef, we'll need to go through a place called the Deep. And a lot of dangers lurk here, and it is very foggy and hard to navigate inside this place. But all we really need to do is persevere and try to keep our boat healthy. Something is hunting you! What the hell? Bro, what is hunting me? I'm scared. The quest area is there. Oh my god, that's huge! Oh, I think like if it hits me, my boat will sink. It's so big. Oh wait. Oh lord. Oh lord. Oh my god. Repair. I have something to repair my boat, you little. Oh shit, rock. No, no, don't crash. Don't crash. What? I don't see them. Oh shit. No, 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 no. Almost been dead. Oh shit. Go, 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 go. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Lightning bolt, bitch! I'm almost out of the deep. I'm almost out. Oh, what the hell? Oh, not again. Okay. Repair, repair, repair. Cool. Oh my god, another rock. Wait, why am I still in the deep? What's that? Wait, there's like a base there. No. That's not our goal right now. Our goal is to get to the... Oh, shoot. Someone's gonna attack me again. Aha! Oh, I'm gonna kill that guy once I get stronger. I'll be back for you. Lightning! Oh, wait. Level 25. Okay, cool. Oh, shit. I eventually escaped the deep and reached the reef. Now we can say goodbye to that giant monster. We'll be setting camp at this place called the Coral Landing. There were so many new stuff that I can see here. I'm pretty excited to check it out. It seems like sharp stones are abundant here, but it's not like I need a lot of these anymore. There are also rocks that spew out wind, but we can't really interact with it at the moment. As for the monsters here, they look like frog monsters. And they spew out green stuff. But they're not really that hard to kill though. These guys are so tanky. Lightning bolt! After I was done exploring the surrounding area, I started working on my temporary camp. This is where I'm gonna be storing all the items I can loot in this place. Lightning! Oh, I did not hit that. Firestorm. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! If I die. Oh, if I die. If I die. Yeah, dodge. Don't die. You die. The only new thing I found in this place are a bunch of fruits like a sunburst melon and a citrus on the ground. Anyways, I got started on locating the guide spirits of the area and saving them. They were protected with the frog-looking monsters. They're not really hard to deal with since we have our good improved spear and single blade. Dead. Hello, little spirit. Let me save you. Nice. Fire blast. That sounds good. Hurls a blazing fireball that explodes on impact or at the end of its path, scorching all enemies in the blast, rages and igniting them. Nice. Okay. Lightning bolt. Fire blast! Oh, wait, what the hell? It's not dead yet. Saving another guide spirit, I got myself a recipe for a mana hand torch. Fire blast! Lightning bolt! You're dead, fool. Easy clap. Hello, Mr. Spirit. Let me save you. Tailwind. Sounds a powerful gust of wind, boosting the speed of your boat for a short time and increasing the movement speed of nearby player. That's a pretty good skill for traveling. I then saw a crab here at the reef, and it's humongous. As I continued my exploration, I went inside a place called the Serpent's Maw, and inside I saw the ore types that are available here at the reef. This thing is called Tide Metal Ore, but right now I had no way of turning it into ingots, so I'm not really hooked on mining a lot of these at the moment. But I did fill my pockets since I was thinking of going home. Might as well. I had one big problem in this place. I don't have any constructs gift or any mana crystals or mana and the other stuff I need in order to craft the other items or stations that I needed. So I had to make a decision of going on a trip back to my first base and gathering all the items I had there and deconstructing all my stations. I plan to relocate everything here in the reef, and I think the storage inside my boat would be enough to store everything I would need. As for the other materials, I can just leave it there since there are some available here. The main problem I really have are the ancient fragments, the mana, and the construct gift that's not available at the moment. But first, I continued my adventure here, and I finally located the new type of wood that I need, coral wood. At the very least, I'm making progress right now, and I'm pretty excited to craft a new bow using coral wood. Also, while I was skimming the ocean, I found a couple of clays that I can gather. So I started gathering everything that I can see. But after all those shenanigans, I really had no choice but to go back to my previous base and gather all the items I had there. I was limited to what I can do in this new land since there are resources I can't gather. So we had to run away against this big monster. Oh, where? Why? Why? Where did it fall? Where did it fall? What the heck? That's crazy. Oh, yo, sail, sail, sail! Go, 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 go! Don't stop! Don't stop, don't stop. Well, that's crazy, bro. And so, upon reaching my base, I destroyed everything, gathered all the materials that was available, and then stored them in my boat. It had enough capacity to at least store all the heavy stuff. Sadly, I couldn't bring everything, so I'll need to do a second trip again, going back to my base and coming back here to the reef. But before I go on my second trip, I decided to make my second base first and then go back to my old one. So this is my new base and its complete form. It's twice the size as my old base. This way I can lay down all the new stations that are available. We have a woodworking station that can make planks, a loom drying rack, a smithing station, a grinding station. Some isn't complete yet since I'm still lacking the materials, but it will be formed eventually. For my second trip back, I was fully naked because I did not want to risk losing any item. I only brought my patching kit so that my boat doesn't break if ever the big guy tries to chase us down again. Worry not, I made it safely without dying. So now all I really need to do is break everything. And with this final trip, I can finally say goodbye to the Embrace and we'll be staying here at the reef forever. I then went to the ocean and collected something called a wax bulb, but I had to defeat a couple of fish that were guarding the area. So the big sharks right here are pretty tanky. The little ones though, they're very manageable. Still, they're very annoying to defeat since they're level 10 and they are starting to get really tanky. So I really need some upgrades on my tools. The wax I'm talking about is this. They are called wax bulbs and they're like glowing plants under the ocean. And I need this because I would need to process this and turn this into something called a plant wax, which then I can use to make the new stations. And in order to make this plant wax, I just need resin and the bulb I have recently collected. And with this, we're closer to completing our new stations. Next up, I gathered more clays as I need this in order to complete my kiln. But first, I focus on upgrading my sanctuary power to level 4. So now we have the endurance aura. Echoes do not suffer from encumbrance with it. Oh! This means it doesn't matter if our pockets are full and heavy, we do not suffer from any movement speed penalty as long as we're within the range of our spirit altar. I now had enough clay to make a kiln, so now I can make some ceramic that is needed for stations as well as make myself some tied metal ingots. I also collected more coral wood as I needed the planks to complete some stations as well. Also, I need about 20 planks to make a new bow. And looky, I found a wind strand. This will be useful later on. I also continued my journey to saving the guide spirits, and for this one, I have earned an ability called Stone Stance. These are the new weapons and armor set that I'm able to make. But right now, I'm really lacking in the materials that I won't be able to make them. And so I went out to grind those materials I need so we can start upgrading our stuff and become stronger. I then made myself a new spear called the Tide Metal Spear and fully upgraded it to level 2. I also crafted the entire hardened scale armor set. And I look way cooler and tougher now than before, and I'm also pretty excited to see how sturdy I am. I also crafted myself a glider, so now I can make use of these winds in order to glide on top. I had a hard time figuring out how to do this though. It's just only a click of or a hold of a right mouse button and you can use a glider if you equip one. So flying is pretty interesting. I like it. I can see a lot down there. Also, this enables me to venture on areas I could not before because of the power of the glider. I also decided what my main arrow would be. Glowstone are way easier to farm than sharpstone, so I decided I'd go for glowstone arrows. And since I was close by to our ruin, it's time to test out our new equipment and challenge this construct. Lightning bolt, fire blast. Honestly, I was very proud of my damage so far. I'm doing so much damage now compared to before. Seeing bigger numbers makes me happy and motivated to kill a lot of enemies. And after a while of shooting my arrows, I have defeated the construct. And I have earned our first glyph shard in this place. Also, we have a construct's gift. I don't really need one right now, but it's always nice to have extra. So this is 1 out of 3, so 2 more to go. So this is my spear damage right now with our improved spear. It's not amazing, but it's not that bad as well. Bow is still better since I deal so much damage in so little time. But the amount of arrows I use up is a lot, so I prefer to go melee now. Anyways, spirit saved and we got a new passive called Mark of the Deep. The next day, I ventured through an area that was plagued with Abyssal Spire. It's now time to destroy this thing. Similar to the first Abyssal Spire that we have fought, it is surrounded with a lot of fish, a lot of bombs, and the only way to defeat this is to break all the green things. Nice. The corruption is now gone. I then resumed my efforts on saving guide spirits all over the island. Saving this one actually unlocked me a pretty good passive called Wind's Favor. It increases my sprint speed and reduces the stamina cost of it. So this is going to be useful if we're planning to just explore the land. And the next day, I then raided yet another Abyssal Spire. The amount of Abyssal Spire in this island is a lot, and they're usually at a spot where the ruins are located, so I have no choice but to defeat them to clear the corruption that is in the surroundings. After that was done, I raided the ruins and completed the trials and earned the second shard. Also resumed my activity of saving guide spirits. Spirit Breath. Create a pocket of air at your location, letting you and nearby allies breathe underwater. That's pretty cool. One spirit in particular had a really good knowledge given to me. It's called an ancient gate. This is the teleporter in this game. If you have two gates, you can teleport between one of them, but it needs a spirit affinity in order to work, so we'll have to keep building some spirit anchor in order to make this function. The material it needs to be crafted isn't really a lot, so now I have a portable portal whenever I go on adventure. So I can just set up one in the base and have a portable one in my inventory. And so I immediately went home and crafted the ancient gate. So I was very happy with this. Currently I only have one, but the materials I have a lot of, so I won't be short of it. There's this one accessory in my mana forge that I wanted to make called the Shimmering Ring. It reduces your spell cooldown by 20%. That's why I really want this, but I'm lacking the pearl. So I went swimming under looking for a giant clam that may contain a pearl. Is that a giant clam? Oh, it is a giant clam. Hopefully we can get a pearl out of this. Oh, nice. Alright, we can make the accessory now. And finally, I have crafted the Shimmering Ring. It also boosts my skimming speed by 25%, so that really helps a lot in exploring. Okay, so let me show you guys my portable teleporting system. So I found an area with a lot of ores. I could just lay down the ancient gate. The total weight I would be suffering from bringing all the stones and materials in making this is I think around 150, and I only have like 400 weight capacity. I need all these materials so I can craft a spirit anchor so I can use the spirit gate, and now I can just teleport in between if my inventory is full. And if you remember, the spirit anchor now has the ability called endurance aura. Even if our inventory is full, we won't be encumbered, so I can just like mine everything here even if my pockets are full, and we won't be suffering any penalty from it, and we can just teleport home and store everything inside. Convenient, right? Click, click, teleport, so I don't need to bring my boat, and I will always have an empty pocket in my adventure because I can just store it instantly. Anyways, I went to my next target, another Abyssal Spire, because there was another ruin here, and it would be the third ruin we would clear so we can start empowering our sanctuary once we defeat the Elder's Trial. I also saved yet another spirit, and this time he has a minor ability called the Flame Stance. So each attack I do, normal or with a bow, it would deal additional damage to it. So this is a pretty good skill if I plan to raise my DPS. After that adventure, I teleported back home because I unlocked a new type of storage called the Basic Storage. And this thing can store so many items. So I had to replace all the chests I have right now into the basic storage. I also unlocked the recipe for a Tide Metal Axe and a Tide Metal Pickaxe, so I upgraded my current tool to the Tide Metal version. I then went and raided the final ruin of the Reef and fought off another one of those constructs so I can get the Elder Shard. This thing was sturdier than the other two because it is level 17, but with our gear upgrades, I still have defeated it with no problem at all. And now we have the third and final shard. And so I ventured towards where the elder may be. I wasn't really sure if this was the correct place, but this is the only place I haven't explored yet. And since it looks like it's heavily guarded, I'm pretty sure there's something here. And I was right. Because once I arrived on top, I saw similar structures as the one where we fought the water elder. So I am in the right place. And so I activated the altar. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of monsters. There it is. Lightning bolt. And by the way, this is what the glow arrow would look like if you strike an enemy. This is very useful at night because it marks them or leaves the arrow in their body, making them glow, giving us really easy visual if it's dark against the enemy. Nice. Is it over? I think it's over. Oh, it's a bird. An elder spirit has been awakened. New rewards have been granted. After teleporting home, I then made the wind shrine. Now I can choose between wind and ocean form anytime I want. I was also able to upgrade my sanctuary power to level 5 now. I can now make a total of 3 max spirit anchors. And since we're done with the reef, it's now time to visit the next area. We'll have to go through the deep again and avoid the giant monster. And so I wanted to try the wind form. So when you're gliding with the wind form, you have unlimited stamina to fly around. So as long as you have the height, you can basically explore the entire land. But well, it does descend slowly, so I won't be able to fully explore the place. But I did glide towards the area where it is close to the next island. And with my current level, I have unlocked a knowledge for a new type of bow. This is called the Carved Trimaran. It is a way bigger and faster boat compared to the ones we had used before. And so, here we go again. Something is haunting us. But with our tailwind skill, we move really fast actually. So we can probably go away from the deep faster than how we used to before. I was also traumatized before when he bit me from the back. So whenever he's near, I just run towards the center of my boat so I don't get dragged down the ocean. Especially since our boat is way faster now. It's harder if I would have fallen. And after a while, we have escaped the deep and arrived at the Greatwood. The first island we land on is called the Overgrown Shore. Also, as I look at the surroundings, I can tell that this place is like a jungle of some sorts. And for the first enemy I found, it is a wild boar. Lightning bolt. This place has this poisonous vibe since it does feel like a jungle after all. Because see these thorns? They're guarding these bramble fruits. There are also a lot of these plants that when triggered, they will spew out some poisonous gas. And yeah, that's pretty annoying. So I'm assuming we'll get a gas mask in the future, a recipe for it, so we can counteract these poisons. There are also humanoid monsters here, and they have bramble fruits stuck to their staff, and they do poison attacks. So these guys are pretty scary. Also, they're very tanky now, so I need another upgrade on my weapon so that we can deal with them faster. Aside from the monkeys, there are also giant spiders here that we need to deal with. They shoot like a web cannon, and once you're in that web cannon, the entire area is slowed down and you wouldn't be able to jump and you will walk really slow. Lightning bolt. Bam. There is also a new type of ore here called amberite ore. They are usually found on high places, so it's kind of difficult to harvest them. Aside from that, there's a new type of tree called the elderwood, and I would be able to craft a new bow with this. Anyways, my mission here was similar to my usual missions on the previous island, which would be to save all the spirits and then conquer the ruins. Lightning bolt. Dead. So many enemies in one trial. What the heck? The difficulty spike. Anyways, I have saved the spirit and got a new spell called Wind Swell. And this is a very useful skill because we can harness the power of the wind to generate a temporary updraft. That means we can go to high places very conveniently with the power of a spell. I can fly. That is awesome. I also upgraded my sanctuary power to level 6, giving me something called a warming aura, and as the name suggests, it keeps me warm. With my continued rescue efforts, I saved a spirit that gave me the knowledge to make an imbued storage chest. This thing is like a magical chest. Any items within will automatically be used in crafting. So we don't need to have the items in our inventory. Once we establish this in the base, we can start crafting stuff. I of course changed all my chests in my base to the new one. I love chests like this so much because now we don't need to carry the stuff and we can just check the stations if we can or we're able to craft something without double checking if we have the materials or the items. It's so convenient. Anyways, back to the adventure. I continue dealing with a couple of abyssal spire in this map because there are ruins near here and there are also spirits that we need to save just close to these spires. So I really have no choice but to deal with those abyssal spires in order to go through all the ruins and defeat its challenge or constructs guarding the elder shards or its construct's gift. And man, these guys are now level 20 and very sturdy. Lightning bolt. Oh my god, it doesn't hurt. Okay. I was scared for nothing. And we're done. We got the constructing. Can I not take this? This seems like the same chest. And we have our first ever shard in this place. Nice. Next up, I then went to the sea and hunt for a couple of fish. These level 21 fishes drop something called a barkfin plates. So this fish is called a barkfin. And I need these plates in order to craft myself a new armor set. And I think weapon as well. So I'll be hunting down here for these fishes. I also resumed my efforts in rescuing more spirits, earning me new abilities. So this one called the Stone Bearer is pretty useful because it gives me the strength to carry more items. And I need that ability because I'm mostly over encumbered if I continue exploring because of my portable portal and a lots of stones in my inventory so I can make a spirit anchor. So I'm always like half the weight limit already. So this thing is going to be very useful. I also actively look for amberite ores because I need them to craft weapons. And after farming a lot, I now had the entire Elder Bark set, boosting my defense by a lot. And also this thing looks really cool, I swear. All that's left now is to craft the weapon. So back to our amberite ore farm. Time to climb those trees. So this is where the ability to create updraft really shines a lot in gathering amberite. Because these things are high on top, it's very annoying, and I had to craft like wooden stairs just so I can navigate through the trees. So it's a pain in the butt, but worry not, we can just bring wood and continuously farm these ores. And with enough ingots, I finally have the amberite spear. This thing boosts my attack by a lot compared to my previous weapon. Look at the damage difference. My previous one had like only 70 minimum, but my Amberite Spear has like 95 and I haven't even upgraded it yet. And so I upgraded it obviously to the max level. It gained like 40% more damage. Now it has a minimum strike of 133 damage. Lightning bolt! Bam. Wait, what the hell? Why is it so strong? Huh? Hello? Why? Wow, 21. This is a different one. It's a shaman this time. That does like poison. I have stronger weapon now. You wanna fight? Oh my god. Okay. Lightning bolt. I need a lot of stamina. Hey, a shaman. That was so different. And saving this spirit, I got a new skill called the Earth Shatter. It's an AoE earth spell that does massive damage. It's very good. The days just go on and on with the same shenanigans as beating a lot of monsters in order to save spirits. This one has the ability called Quick Shot. With its passive ability, our arrows or our bow can charge faster and shoot arrows faster. I also crafted and upgraded an Amberite sword because I needed a one-handed sword so I can carry a torch on my other hand. There have been more instances where I had to raid caves and there was almost no visibility, so I need a one-handed sword. And just to complete the set, I also crafted a shield so I have both sword and shield. It's a really cool combo honestly, but the spear has higher crit rate, that's why I like it. One of the ruins had like this thing where you had to figure out where the way is in order to continue. I was so lazy to figure it out, so I just kept making stairs so I can move on to like the next areas. And it actually worked out, so yeah, the strategy is pretty fire. But it did took a while because I couldn't find where this construct with the glyph or the shard was. Eventually I found it though, so now we have 2 out of 3. Upon returning home, I had a recipe for something called a hunter mask. This is equivalent to a gas mask since it has like resistance to poison. Also, I crafted an Amberite Spirit Focus. It increases my spell damage by a lot. So currently, I'm pretty geared up. So I'm kind of ready to just finish the game right now. So continuing my agenda of rescuing spirits, I got a new spell called Nera's Bounty. It collects all the resources around me. So this thing is very useful if we want to just go around and collect resources. And looking at the map, it seems like I only had 2 spirits left to save and 1 more ruin to go to before we can fight the elder spirit that resides here. And here we are, the final ruins, and we will have all the shards. And shield up. Oh, I don't care. Up. Damn, damage reduction is so awesome. Oh, doesn't hurt that much. You have been defeated. Easy. And with this, we have found the last Elder Shard. The only thing left now is to locate where the Elder Spirit Shrine is. And of course, I haven't forgotten of the last 2 remaining Guide Spirit we haven't gotten yet. This one had a really nice minor ability called Afterburn. It increases my critical chance after dodging, which is very powerful. Also, the buff lasts for like 10 seconds. So all I really need to do is dodge once and I have a 10-second buff that increases my critical chance. That's so overpowered, I swear. It makes my critical chance in total 55% with the spear. So I have like 50% chance to do a critical strike. It's great. Also for the last Guide Spirit, I got an ability called Rejuvenate. It's basically a healing skill. And with that, we have rescued all the spirit in the map. So the only thing remaining now is the Elder Shrine. Searching for it honestly took a while because I really didn't know where it is. Unlike on the very first island where a quest would like mark the area where the shrine is, the reef and this place didn't have that, so I have to look for it myself. It took a while, but I had a hunch that it might be at the center of the island. So I kept building stairs going up. It is a very high island. I did not really know where the entrance was. So I just used this method to get up the island. And sure enough, it worked out. See? Here we are at top. And upon landing, I was right. This was where the shrine was. All I need to do now was just set up my gate and shrine. So if ever I die, I can just teleport back. I did not go to the shrine directly though because I wanted to see where this was located or where the entrance was, why I couldn't find it earlier. So this was a really huge cave with a lot of amberite. I could have grinded my amberites here, but I did not know this place existed. I don't really need amberites right now since I have the complete gear already. So all that's left now was just to fight the elder. And so after preparing myself, crafting some poison resistant potion, it was now time to do the final trial of this early access. So similar to the other altars, it just summons a lot of monsters to kill you. The maximum level as possible, which would be I guess 21 in this area. Anyways, I just dealt with them slowly, killing them one by one, making sure I was healthy so I don't die. I wasn't truly worried about anything because I crafted some stuff that removes poison if ever it builds up. Or I have a lot of bandage as well to heal me up. So we're fine. Anyways, we have defeated everything and the guardian has emerged. It seems to be a giant frog turtle with a tree in the back, mutant. Anyways, I have bonded with a spirit and I now have a new form. And for this new form, it is called the Earth form and increases my defense once I use it. So defense. Oh, this is cool, honestly. Wow. The shield turns into stone. That's awesome. I'm honestly already done with everything, but I remember that there was a promise I made before that I would kill that giant monster in the deep once I got strong enough. So it is now time to exact our revenge on that giant fish. And after making some preparations, I then head over to the deep, waiting and looking for that giant fish. He's not appearing. Weird. Where is that thing? Something is hunting you. That's what I'm waiting for. Now remove the sails. Repair, repair, repair. Now ready on my bow. Oh. Wait, is this even killable? Oh, it is. That's a lot of HP though. But with my glowstone arrow, there's no escape for you, buddy. Oh. Repair, repair, repair. You're no match. My damage is so weak though. It's okay, it will die eventually. Lightning bolt! You're dead, man. For the last hit, let's go with a spear. Come on, come on. Oh, that's so scary. I thought I would get one shot or something. Oh, the drops are kinda meh. But hey, we killed it nonetheless. And I don't think there's another one here. Alright, so one last thing. I want to try raiding like the monster base. Oh wow, they're just level 10. Oh. I was expecting more from these guys, honestly. And that's it for me. I have finished every content available in early access, I believe, and I had my fill of the fun. So thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Bye now.